Hoffmans!
Hi!
Hi!
This is Jono, and I'm Barak.
And together we're Jericho.
That's right, and we're also doing Clarifying Christianity, where we have 3 goals. The first is to respond, the second is equip, the third is encourage. Jono, what do they mean?
We're responding to conversations that have been going on for a long, long time, whether it's about quotes, or topics, or definitions, or scripture. And we are trying to just equip you to do the same, that we would become lifelong learners. We believe that every leader is a learner. The second you stop learning, you stop leading. So in our pursuit to be better leaders, we've learned a few things that we'd love to share with you so that you can learn and become better leaders. But ultimately, to encourage you to have to encourage you in your relationship with Jesus. That ultimately all of this is so that you would know Jesus better and love him deeper. So, if that works, hey, that's what we're all about. If it's not for Jesus, what are we doing here?
Absolutely. And today, Jono, we're talking about another verse that gets used out of context all the time. It is in Romans 8, verse
8.
That's right. Jono, do you want to read it for us? Or do you
Yeah, gladly. Okay, ready? And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. This is like a typical Visco Instagram handle, put it under the eyes at every game kind of verse.
Yep.
All things work out according to all things work to those to the good of, it's all the translations.
Yeah.
Of
And
those
also,
who love
this is
him,
kind
so.
of like one of the misquotes that we do. Like people say,
Yeah.
everything's going to work out. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing that people say. And it
It'll
kinda
be all right.
Yeah, everything's going to be all right.
And then 2020 hits, and you're like, I don't know if I believe him.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jono, is this verse telling me that everything is going to work out?
Yes and no.
Wow, that's incredible.
Context. Paul is writing to Romans. Romans ran the world. Everything worked out for them, but they were concerned about power and possession and prestige. So this is what their whole life was. So they're like, first of all, you're telling me that it's not working out for me because it's working out pretty well. No, it's not. But there's a clarification in here. There's key words. It works out for those who love the Lord, love God. And there's a conversation we'll get into in another video. It's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother thing.
Of the already and the not yet, living in between.
Yeah.
Jesus is, first coming and second coming, all of those things. And really what he's talking about is, it will work out. You might not live to see the day, but it will. The bent of history is in favor to those who know and love God.
Yes.
Everything ends well for us. I might have a horrible life in the process, though.
Yeah.
So, Barak, you might have a rough life, but you love Jesus.
Yay.
And that means that it's all going to work out. But what does loving Jesus mean while I eat my Hoffman's ice cream sandwich?
Not a sponsor. So loving God, it comes in a lot of ways, but very tangible ways that we can think about it is through worship. We love God through worshiping him, not just through singing. We often think of worship as just singing. It's not just that. It's through how we live our lives as a way of worshiping God.
Kind of a surrender.
Yeah, kind of a surrender.
A surrendering of things, like worship can be giving. Surrender can be, or worship can be surrender in the form of singing and praising. And
But it can also be like through doing your homework or doing the chores that your parents tell you to do. Worship is a lot of pretty much everything. It
really is.
Yeah.
What's the attitude of your heart?
Exactly.
And your perception of God when you're doing anything, including the dishes.
Absolutely, and it's a lifelong process of learning how to worship God better, but also through serving, which can be an aspect of worshiping God. You worship God through serving. You love God through serving, and serving can look like a lot of things. It can look like helping out your siblings, your parents, your neighbor, literally your neighbor, or like coming to church and serving consistently in some sort of ministry capacity, helping in your community, all sorts of stuff. So loving God can look like a lot of things. The Bible literally says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, or Jesus does. That's a lot of things, a lot of different aspects of ourselves to love God with.
It's true.
Yeah,
And,
so anyway.
And
loving
serving,
God.
I like to think of worship as really our mentality when we're facing God. Serving, I think, is our mentality when we're facing others, too. And then almost always keeping the two connected. Not like I'm just serving others and I never think of God when I'm doing so. I should be thinking of God when I'm serving others, and I should be thinking of others when I'm worshiping God. Like there is a combination of those things, and so, okay, you worship God and you serve God, which means you love God.
Loving God.
And guess what? If you love God, you might have a horrible life. It could be just rough, but it will work out for you. That's good news.
Yep.
Jesus says He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through Him.
Yep.
And that's good news.
Yep. Because God's whole goal in all of the Bible really is to once again unite heaven and earth, have God's space where God hangs out overlap with our space, human space, and all of that be working together in wonderful and beautiful ways once again. And that is the ultimate picture of everything working out for our good.
Hey, look at that. Also, last thing, I know we keep adding because I keep having these thoughts. And
Yes,
this is
same.
a conversation.
That's
This is
why
a conversation.
It's a conversation.
The last thing is keeping in mind what Jesus has already done for us. We always are looking forward to the next good thing that happens to us because we're never settled or happy and content enough with what He already has done. We're so quick to forget, and we never really even fully understand how undeserving we are of what He did in the first place. So if you believe in the gospel and you love Jesus, explore that the rest of your life and operate from that one thing. And you won't even be concerned if your weekend's great or not. You know, it changes the way we see everything. So that's all. Go ahead and get yourself some Hoffman's ice cream.
That's right. Not a sponsor. Bye.
Bye.